Hello everyone, welcome to Easy English for Everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share to receive the latest videos. Now let's study together.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a story about a very exciting place, the land of smart choices. Many people dream of finding this place. Why? Because it's a place where you can save money, find great deals, and maybe, just maybe, make life a little easier. Our story is about a young student named Lisa. Lisa was a hard-working girl who loved to read and learn. She went to a big school where she had many classes, but there was a problem. School books were very expensive, and Lisa's family didn't have much money. Lisa worried about how she would buy all the books she needed. One day, Lisa heard stories about a place where students could find books for less money. People said it was a place full of smart ideas and clever tricks to save. Lisa's heart started to beat faster. Could this be the answer to her problem? Could she find a way to get the books she needed without spending too much? Let's find out about Lisa's adventure in the land of smart choices. We will read her story in chapters. Each chapter will be short and easy to understand. We will learn new words and see how Lisa faces new challenges and exciting discoveries. Are you ready? Let's discover. Chapter 1. The problem. Lisa Walker looked at the price tag on her college textbook and felt her heart sink. $200 for one book? She whispered to herself. The college bookstore was busy with students, all looking worried about the high prices. Lisa was a first-year student at Greenfield Community College. She came from a small town, and her parents didn't have much money. They had saved for years to help her go to college. But these book prices were a shock. I need 5 more books, Lisa said to herself, counting the money in her wallet. That's over $1,000 just for books. Next to her, a tall boy with curly hair was also looking at a textbook with wide eyes. Are you okay? Lisa asked him. The boy shook his head. I'm Sam. And no, I'm not okay. These prices are crazy. I work part-time at a coffee shop, and this one book would cost me almost 2 weeks of work. Lisa nodded. I know. I'm Lisa. This is my first semester, and I didn't know books would be so expensive. Sam put the book back on the shelf. Well, I can't buy them today. I'll have to figure something out. As they walked out of the bookstore together, Lisa felt worried. How was she going to tell her parents that the money they saved wasn't enough? Chapter 2. A new friend. The next day, Lisa sat alone in the college cafeteria. She was eating a sandwich she had made at home to save money. Her phone buzzed with a text from her mom. Did you get all your books, honey? Lisa didn't know how to answer. She hadn't bought any books yet. Suddenly, someone sat down across from her. It was Sam from the bookstore. Hi again, he said with a friendly smile. Mind if I join you? Please do, Lisa said, happy to see a familiar face. Sam unpacked his lunch, also brought from home. So, did you buy your books? Lisa shook her head. No, I'm trying to figure out what to do. I can't afford them all. Me neither, Sam said. But I have some ideas. My older sister graduated last year, and she taught me some tricks to save money on textbooks. Lisa leaned forward, interested. Really? Like what? Well, first, not all the books on the list are actually required. Some professors list books as recommended, but never use them in class or for homework. Lisa took out her book list. How do I know which ones I really need? We can email the professors and ask, Sam suggested. Also, Some professors put copies of the textbooks in the library for students to use. You can't take them home, but you can read them there. Lisa smiled for the first time that day. That's helpful. Thank you. No problem, Sam said. We students need to help each other out. Chapter 3. The Library Discovery. The next day, Lisa and Sam met at the college library to check if any of their textbooks were available there. Look, the librarian told them. We have 2 copies of this biology textbook. You can use them here for up to 3 hours at a time. That's great for studying, Lisa said. But what about when I need to do homework at home? Good question, the librarian replied. She was an older woman with kind eyes and silver hair. Her name tag read Ms. Martinez. Let me show you something, Ms. Martinez said, leading them to a computer. Our library has access to some online versions of textbooks. They're not as nice as having your own copy, but they're free. Lisa watched as Ms. Martinez showed them the library website. Sure enough, 3 of Lisa's required books were available online through the library. This is amazing, Lisa exclaimed. I had no idea. Most students don't, Ms. Martinez said with a smile. That's why I always try to tell new students about these resources. Sam was typing something on his phone. I just found out my history professor puts all the reading materials online as PDFs. I don't need to buy that textbook at all. See? It's always worth checking, Ms. Martinez said. And don't forget to look for older editions of textbooks. They're usually much cheaper and often have the same information. As they left the library, Lisa felt much better. I think I can manage now. I'll only need to buy 2 books instead of 6. And I know how to get those cheaper too, Sam said with a wink. Chapter 4. The Online Hunt. That evening, Lisa sat at her small desk in her shared apartment. Her roommate, Tina, was watching TV in the living room. Lisa opened her laptop and saw a new email from Sam. Check out these websites for used textbooks. They're much cheaper than the bookstore. Lisa clicked on the links Sam sent. There were several websites where students could buy used textbooks or even rent them for just 1 semester. This is perfect, Lisa said out loud. She found one of her required books for just $45 instead of $180 new. Tina came into the room. What's perfect? I found my textbooks for much less money, Lisa explained, showing Tina the website. No way, Tina said, looking over Lisa's shoulder. I've been here 2 years and didn't know about this. I've been spending all my money at the bookstore. My new friend Sam showed me, Lisa said. There are so many options. Used books, rentals, ebooks. Tina sat down next to Lisa. Can you show me how to find my books too? Of course, Lisa said, happy to share what she'd learned. As they searched for Tina's books, Lisa's phone buzzed with another message from Sam. Found a student group on campus that organizes textbook exchanges. Meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. in the Student Center. Want to go? Lisa quickly texted back. Definitely. Bringing my roommate too. Chapter 5. The Textbook Exchange. The next day, Lisa, Sam, and Tina went to the Student Center for the textbook exchange meeting. The room was full of students with stacks of old textbooks. Welcome to the Textbook Exchange Network, said a girl with bright blue hair. Her name tag read Maria President. How does this work? Lisa asked. Maria explained. It's simple. Students bring books they don't need anymore and trade them for ones they do need. If you don't have books to trade yet, you can buy them at very low prices. usually about 75% off the bookstore price. That's amazing, Tina said. We started this group 3 years ago, Maria continued. We were all tired of spending so much money on books we only used for a few months. Sam was already looking through the biology section. Lisa, they have your chemistry book here for only $30. Lisa rushed over, hardly believing her luck. Sure enough, there was the exact book she needed, in good condition with only a few highlighted sections. I'll take it, she said happily. By the end of the meeting, Lisa had found 3 of her books for less than $100 total. Tina found all of hers, and even Sam found 2 books he needed. As they were leaving, Maria stopped them. You should join our group. We meet once a month and are always looking for new members to help spread the word. I'd love to, Lisa said. I wish I'd known about this sooner. Maria handed them some flyers. Take these. Give them to other students who might need help with textbook costs. Lisa took the flyers, already thinking of other students from her classes who seemed worried about money. Chapter 6. The Digital Solution. A week into the semester, Lisa was sitting in her English class when the professor, Dr. Williams, made an announcement. I know textbooks are expensive, he said, looking around the classroom. So I've decided to try something new this semester. Instead of the anthology textbook on your list, I'm going to provide all the readings as digital files on our class website. The students looked up in surprise. All the poems, short stories, and essays we'll study are actually available in the public domain or through our library's digital resources, Dr. Williams explained. There's no need for you to spend $120 on the anthology. After class, Lisa went up to Dr. Williams. Thank you for doing this, she said. It helps students like me a lot. Dr. Williams nodded. I was a student once too, and I remember the shock of textbook prices. Some of my colleagues are doing the same thing. You should ask your other professors if they have digital options. That gave Lisa an idea. Later that day, she met Sam for coffee at the campus cafe. What if we ask all our professors about digital options? Lisa suggested. And then share what we learn with other students? That's a great idea, Sam said. We could create a document with all the information about which professors offer digital materials, which books are in the library, and which classes actually need the textbooks. We could share it through Maria's textbook exchange network. Lisa added, getting excited. Let's do it, Sam agreed. We'll call it the Textbook Cost-Cutting Guide. Chapter 7. Spreading the word. Over the next 2 weeks, Lisa and Sam emailed all their professors, visited office hours, and talked to older students about textbook requirements. They created a simple online document with all the information they gathered. The guide included which professors offered digital materials, which textbooks were available in the library, which older editions were still usable, which classes didn't actually use the textbooks, best websites for finding used books and rentals. They shared the document with Maria, who was thrilled. This is exactly what students need, she exclaimed. Can I share this on our student group page? Of course, Lisa said. That's why we made it. Within days, hundreds of students had viewed their guide. Lisa started getting thank you emails from students she'd never met. One day, Lisa was studying in the library when Ms. Martinez, the librarian, approached her. I heard about your textbook guide, she said with a smile. It's wonderful. Would you mind if I share it on the library website? That would be great, Lisa said, blushing a little from the praise. Actually, Ms. Martinez continued, "I'd like to offer you both part-time jobs here at the library, helping students find textbook alternatives. We could use students like you who understand the challenges and know the solutions." Lisa couldn't believe it. Not only had she solved her own textbook problem, but now she might get a job helping others do the same. Chapter 8. The Professor Alliance. Word about Lisa and Sam's guide reached the faculty too. One afternoon, Lisa received an email from Dr. Taylor, the head of the science department. "Dear Lisa and Sam, I was impressed by your textbook cost-cutting guide. Would you be willing to speak at our next faculty meeting about textbook affordability from the student perspective? Best regards, Dr. Taylor." Lisa read the email to Sam over the phone. "Should we do it?" she asked nervously. "Definitely," Sam replied. "This is our chance to make bigger changes." The following week, Lisa and Sam stood before a room full of professors. Lisa's heart was beating fast, but she took a deep breath and began. "Thank you for having us here today. We want to share with you how textbook costs affect students like us." Lisa explained how many students had to choose between books and other necessities like food or rent. Sam showed examples of the huge price differences between the bookstore and alternatives. "We're not asking professors to stop using textbooks," Sam clarified. "We're just asking for awareness and flexibility." To their surprise, many professors seemed concerned and interested. Some admitted they hadn't realized how much the books cost. Dr. Williams stood up. "I've started creating my own digital materials instead of requiring expensive textbooks. It takes time, but it's worth it." Other professors shared similar ideas, using older editions when possible, putting copies on reserve in the library, creating course packets with only the necessary chapters, finding open educational resources online. By the end of the meeting, a group of professors decided to form a textbook affordability committee to address the issue across all departments. Dr. Taylor approached Lisa and Sam afterward. "Thank you for bringing this to our attention. Sometimes we get so focused on teaching that we forget about these practical challenges students face." Chapter 9. The Campus Movement. As the semester continued, the textbook affordability movement grew. Maria's textbook exchange network doubled in size. The library created a special section for textbooks on reserve. Even the campus bookstore started a better buyback program and expanded their used book section. Lisa and Sam's part-time jobs at the library kept them busy, but they enjoyed helping other students navigate the complex world of textbook alternatives. One day, Lisa received an email from the student newspaper. "We'd like to interview you and Sam about your textbook guide and how it has helped students save money. Are you available this week?" The resulting article brought even more attention to their work. Soon, student governments at nearby colleges were reaching out, asking how to create similar programs on their campuses. Lisa, who had been so worried about affording books just months earlier, now found herself giving advice to student leaders from other schools. "I never thought this would get so big," she told Sam one day as they were updating their guide with new information. "That's what happens when you solve a problem that affects almost everyone," Sam replied. People pay attention. Chapter 10. A New Beginning. At the end of the semester, Lisa checked her bank account and smiled. Not only had she managed to get all her textbooks at affordable prices, but her job at the library had helped her save some money for next semester. As she was packing to go home for winter break, her phone rang. It was Maria. "Lisa," Great news. The student government approved funding for our textbook exchange network. We'll have an official space on campus next semester and a budget for operations. That's amazing, Lisa exclaimed. And there's more, Maria continued. They want to create 2 paid student positions to run it. I immediately thought of you and Sam. Would you be interested? Lisa couldn't believe it. Absolutely. This is perfect. Later, as she rode the bus home, Lisa thought about how much had changed since that first worried day in the bookstore. What had started as a personal problem had led to new friends, a campus movement, and now a job opportunity. She texted Sam, "Can you believe where we are now? All because textbooks were too expensive?" Sam replied, "That's how change happens. People with problems become people with solutions." Lisa smiled and looked out the window. She had learned so much more than what was in her textbooks this semester. She had learned that one small action could grow into something that helped many people. And that was a lesson worth far more than $200. As the bus drove on, Lisa started making plans for next semester. There was still so much to do, so many students to help. The textbook problem wasn't completely solved yet, but Lisa and her friends had made a good start. And sometimes, a good start was all you needed to create real change. Epilogue. 1 year later, 1 year after Lisa's first worried day in the bookstore, Greenfield Community College held a special ceremony. The college president stood at a podium in front of the library. Today, we celebrate the opening of the Student Textbook Resource Center, she announced to the crowd of students and faculty. This center will help ensure that no student has to choose between books and basic necessities. Lisa, Sam, and Maria stood nearby, hardly believing that their small efforts had led to this moment. The new center combined their textbook exchange program with the library's reserve system and a new digital resource hub. The college president continued, and we have more good news. Thanks to the work of our Textbook Affordability Committee, overall textbook costs at Greenfield have decreased by 40% this year. The crowd cheered. After the ceremony, a first-year student approached Lisa. "Thank you for starting all this," she said shyly. "I'm the first in my family to go to college, and I was so worried about the costs. This makes it possible for students like me." Lisa smiled, remembering how she had felt exactly 1 year ago. "That's exactly why we did it," she said. "Because everyone deserves a chance to learn, regardless of how much money they have." As the student walked away, Sam put his hand on Lisa's shoulder. "Not bad for a couple of broke first-year students, huh?" Lisa laughed. "Not bad at all. And we're just getting started." And she was right. What had begun as a search for cheaper school books had become something much bigger, a movement that would continue to grow and help students for years to come.